What did you think of the famous The Terminator?
I mean, it's an amazing movie. It's really close to being perfect. It's that climax doesn't quite give me what I was hoping for after, the first hour and a half or whatever. And that's really one of my main complaints. I like when the movie's slow, when it's just the Terminator hunting down Sarah Connors one by one. I like when the movie speeds up and it's that car chase with Reese and the Terminator. I like all that stuff. I love the shootout in the police station. We mentioned the puppet Arnold head isn't great. It's maybe even terrible. And then the stop motion is good. It's just so dated. But the effects overall are pretty good. Like all the stuff we see with the post-apocalyptic future. And again, the design of that robot is amazing. The skeleton robot, he's got teeth. He just looks really cool. I think one thing that the movie really pulls off tremendously well, and that none of the sequels do, and I guess just to preface this, The Terminator is not my favorite Terminator movie. Terminator 2 is, and always will be, probably. Mm-hmm. But the original, The Terminator, is kind of a horror movie. And none of the sequels are. But this movie is terrifying. It's a slasher movie about a robot going after a woman and hunting her down. And then, even think of like the climax. The climax, as much as I don't love it, that's a horror movie climax. It's this monster going after a woman who, usually they just trip and fall over because they're dumb bimbos in horror movies. No, this time she's just limping because she's injured. But it's the same kind of thing. The Terminator is an excellent action film. It's an excellent science fiction film. There's that awesome causality loop where Kyle Reese goes back in time and becomes his best friend's father. And then it's a pretty damn good horror movie, too. It's like this... Yeah, it's just really good. Jim, what about you? What do you think of this movie?
Well, I completely agree with you. I also just want to mention, the pacing of the movie is fantastic.
Sure. Because it does slow down at times, but
it's never too slow.
And it feels earned when you have a chance to develop a romance that largely works, or you have a chance to show Kyle Reese being crazy at the police station and Sarah's still trying to figure out what she thinks of the guy.
So it's all in service of the actual story. It's not just being slow because, I don't know, we're having a slow fucking scene. I don't know, It all means something.
It's basically a perfect script in the structure sense, in the A to B to C, everything leads to the next thing.
Something that you said about some of the effects, they're a little outdated, but they still work for what they are. You know what I mean? Other than the Arnold puppet thing, most of them still work. But I don't know. So
specifically the stop motion here, yeah, and I agree. It's again, stop motion can never look perfect. It's always going to look just something off, but it's good. It's impressive. It's just maybe there's just too much of it. It takes me out of the movie a bit just because it's stop motion. That's what it kind of does.
Yeah, exactly.